Right. Okay. So, see, today, how they Let's ask. Okay, we start on this side. So, Buddha, tell me one factor that this company should consider. We launching an app in addition to the website that already exists. Excellent. That's the first answer I expected. Cost. Indeed, as accountants, we are interested in cost, isn't it? App just didn't appear. From the thin air, it just appears. No, apps need to be developed. Apps needs to be developed, isn't it? It takes a huge cost to develop an app and also launch that. App no, we have to maintain it. You have to give futures. So number one factor excellent is the cost. Because it doesn't come, apps don't come free. Good things don't come free. Right. So there's a cost. So what's the cost for it? That's a very good thing. Then you have to see on the other hand the cost and the return. So that's what we call CPA, that's benefit analysis. In your management accounting, in your accounting, I think you have studied cost benefit analysis. For whatever thing that they are the cost, then what the benefit that you have to get, the benefit should outweigh or outperform the cost that will be income. So yes, the cost can do an NPV analysis as well, a net present value analysis, and see what's the cost and what are the benefits and whether the NPV is positive in the long run. Right. Versus excellent. Cost is number one factor. And the return, I could add another one, the returns, the benefits that you could get from that, and then we can do a kind of an investment appraise. Because these are important decisions that you have to make for your business. Okay. Customers, customer needs, right? Customer needs and preferences. Now, for Uber or for picnic, is it even an option to have an app or not? Is it an option? No, it's a must. But let's say I'm with a company, I did not clearly tell what's the company. I don't know the company. Let's say my company is dealing with bricks. I am manufacturing bricks. Right? I thought of enough lecturing, and I thought of now starting a brick manufacturing company. Right? So I am now manufacturing bricks. I have a website for it. Do I need an app for that? What? Brick manufacturing app for it? I don't think so. So yes, customer requirements, customer needs, customers' requirements should be looking. First of all, whether the customers require such kind of an app based on your product or service that you are doing. For Uber, it's not even an option because it's a must. For Pitney, it's a must. Not an option at all. They have to do that. Right? So likewise, yes, a very good point. Customer requirements, customer needs, customer preferences should be looked into, and it's based on the nature of the product, nature of the service that this company payments, right? Exchanges customers. So whatever you have to see, and based on that, you have to see whether an app suits our customer requirements, whether there's a need first of all for an app. Right? Okay, a very good point. So cost, customer preferences. Okay. Yeah. So an app would give the customer what? Smooth, what? Experience navigation. Right? An app would give that, and that's it. So you might not get that, and for the weight, you require a lot of things that itself is another factor that you can consider. So yes, smooth navigation, whether it's a factor that your customers seek. In that case, better to go on and you should provide smooth navigation rather than a website. It's easy to navigate an app rather than a web version. Okay. Okay. then let's come to this side. Then keep on the end. Sorry. Market competition, just what others are doing. If others are also having apps, then why not we also launch an app? Market competition and to capture certain market segments, particularly the generation Z like you, customer segments like you, the younger generation, who are not using it, right? You are using what? Apps, you are using your tech savvy as well as using mobile. Mobile e-commerce and other things are that's what you are using. So in that case, yes, what the competitors are doing is also a really important. That's being strategy. If the competitors have launched apps and if you are still having on your website, I think that's not a good issue, isn't it? So therefore, maybe based on the competitions, the competitive moves, you might need to decide whether you are doing logo and app. Competitive moves, competitors. So we'll ask you, what would you like? Sorry. Yes, and of course, there's another advantage of an app is the company can gather a lot of data. Customer data from the website is critical. You need to think about cookies which are to today. It's not easy to get data from away. But if you are registered, if you have an account, always will ask if you have a user app to register. So customer data is automatically given to the company. So they will have a lot of access to customer data if you have an app. And if that's a key point, that's I think important. Because then only the company can cater, the company can give, and even can market, right, for the customers. So therefore, apps will give a lot of data access to the client. That they could get, they could convert that into money by marketing campaigns, etc. So that's another important factor. Access to data. Right? From apps, the company gets a lot of access to data, important data, that they can convert that into business ideas as well as make money of both. Good. Wow. What do you think? Sorry. Industry type, of course. For certain industries, it might not be that suitable. For certain industries, it might. Particularly service-oriented industries, it might be very much so. But for certain typical manufacturing companies, it might not be at all suitable. Like, if I'm a big manufacturer, why my customers need an app? It is more than that. Right? Okay, what else? Okay, yes, that's the value proposition. What kind of additional value you can give? And no point is it. You can ask. Of course. Very good. So you have to see what kind of additional value you can give your customers. That's based on the customer requirements, customer preferences. Good. Now, sorry. Reach and accessibility, of course. Now, if you want to reach a wider range of customers, including young customers who are upset, they like apps like you, then it's better to have an app. But older generation, they don't prefer apps, they prefer what? They don't prefer even web. They might prefer physical stores. Therefore, apps might be more suitable for younger generation. And if your product is used going by your younger generation, or if you want to expand it, your product among the younger generation, then better go for that. Right, we'll ask someone this as well. What do you think? Wow. Sorry. Yes, of course. An app could also use resources in the device. A web cannot do that. Now, for example, understanding the customer location. Can a web do that? Not necessary. But an app could do that. And it also can use the webcam. The mobile cam or whatever the things, the resources can be used easily. The microphone, sometimes the desktop computer might not have cam or even microphone. But a mobile device would have. So an app could use this to give a better experience a virtual reality experience. You will see that today. And I could do that, but not that. So resource usage. What else? Very good. Take it on, take it optionally. We have to always ask if you are going to go for certain actions, whether it's a strategic priority. Right? I think that's a very good point. Whether it should have been the question number one. Whether it's our strategic priority. If it is not, then you should not do that. That's question number one. Whether, now for an example, do you know Richard Branson? Who's Richard Branson? My uncle? No, he's not my uncle. I don't wish him to be my uncle as well. I don't want to get married, please don't. Right. Because I'm very lonely. So they are no. He's a very innovative, a creative, as well as a great entrepreneur. He's the Virgin Atlantic Jobs founder. And his net worth is around 300 billion, 400 billion US dollars. His net worth. Right? You can understand what's it. And he's built about 300, 400 companies. He's managing 300 to 400 companies. But he's very relaxed and he's doing some things. Right. Now, if I ask Richard Branson to come and deliver a lecture in Srilanka, would he come? We have to pay $1 million US dollars. We are going to send him a private jet. Would he come? No. His secretary would say, thank you very much. It's not his strategic priority at the moment. Richard Branson's strategic priority is not delivering lectures. His strategic priority is not. Right? Being an entrepreneur. Likewise, before you do anything, you have to see whether it's your strategic priority. At this moment of your life, what would be your strategic priority? Facebook? WhatsApp? Virtually there and then, having fun? Of course, have they. But what should be your strategic priority? Anything. Likewise, if a company is going to make any move, if you are going to make any move, always ask yourself whether it's my strategic priority. If it is not strategic priority, then don't do it. Maybe your company requires expansion and a lot of other things to do, which requires funds. And at this moment, app is not your strategic priority like this. You can launch an app, maybe later. But at the moment, you have to see what's your strategic priority. So what he told is very important. That should have been the question number one. Asking whether it's a strategic priority at the moment. Depending on the customer requirement, depending on the demand, depending on the industry, you should decide whether it's some strategic priority. Even if you pay $1 million US dollars and send him a private jet to UK, he's living in UK, Richard Branson would not come. For 1 hour lecture, I'm going to say I'm going to pay you 1 million, and even the company offered that. And very politely, Richard Branson's secretary declined that, saying that what? Mr. Branson's now he's not, he's sir, he's a knight. Sir Richard Branson's strategic priorities are a bit different at the moment. He's not very keen in delivering lectures. And declined $1 million US dollars for him. Even the company was ready to send a private jet to bring me, deliver the lecture for 1 hour and send it back. In America, not eventually not companies. But his secretary, when he did not, he had delegated his communications to both secretaries, and the secretary has told at the moment it's not his strategic plan. So now, if you are offered a job, would you take it? Then job here. On Saturdays and Sundays, you have to work. Would you take that work? Saturdays and Sundays, are you unable to come? No lectures, because you have to attend the job activity. Would you accept that? And you are going to be paid 200 rupees, 2000, not 200, 200 US dollars. Right, for 3,000, let's say you are going to pay 2,000 US dollars per month, and they are offering you a job. But Saturdays, Sundays, and on weekdays you are fully occupied and you won't have time to study. Would you accept that? You would say what? Thank you, but no thank you. It's not my strategic priority. So likewise, you have to choose right. Later on, you can earn 5,000 US dollars per month once you get this. Once you have the required skills and competencies. Therefore, that's what I'm saying. Some students they go for certain places where those are BPOs, business process outsourcing benefits. But they use they ask the people to go really time to like entering some information to a computer. And they are given some big names like fund managers, etc., etc. But actually, what they are is they are just entering some information to a computer. Now, reconcile by running a macro, right? But they are paid 40,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees. While in audit firms, they pay at the moment maybe 50,000. So would you accept that 40,000? The BPO is coming and telling you, we'll be doing BPO, we are having a big name, the big bank's name is behind us. Would you accept that? But I would, if I were offered that, I would say, what? Thank you, but no thank you. It's not my strategic priority. My strategic priority is to acquire skills, competency. Right? Later on, maximum you can earn maybe 80,000 or 100,000 in that BPO, right, after graduation. But once you get a training from a good place, and as well as this degree, you can make maybe 500,000 or 1 million, even in rupees or in dollars. So therefore, choose very carefully the options that you are doing. So that's based on what? Your strategy, right? So is that you ask yourself whether developing and launching this app is my strategic priority. If it is not, then you don't go. Okay, very good answers did come up. Now let me give the answer. The answers are there. The first answer is there. Okay. Which is the whether it's a strategy. If it is not, don't do anything. You might be offered a lot of things. You might be offered job opportunities at the moment. You might be offered foreign tours, etc., etc. You say no. Then what? What is the answer? No. Yes, thank you, but no thank you. It's not my strategic priority. My strategic priority is education, getting the required skills, and to be a true professional where I can add unique value in it. But it just wastes my time. Right? Money shouldn't be your strategic priority at the moment. Your strategic priority should be acquiring knowledge, skills, the required attitude, as well as the appropriate mindset that will help you to add value, new value in the future. Always think about it. So entertainment, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all other nonsenses are not your strategic priority. So you shouldn't have been your strategic priorities on the first place. So that's number one. Then on the other hand, you also could ask whether you can use someone else's app to advertise, if that's your intention. Because I think you can, that there are certain other apps where you can pay and advertise. Now, there's an app called Spotify. What Spotify is? It's a music streaming app. Now, the free version, when you have the free version, what it says? It displays others' advertisement, isn't it? Now, I have installed, installed this Truecaller. So I would know who's calling. Truecaller the ID. So I would know who's there. Although it seems there are some issues in it, but again, for me, I won't talk any issue. So Truecaller I have it there. And when I use Truecaller, the free version, it displays others' advertisement. So likewise, if my company wants to advertise in mobile devices, I could leverage others' apps like Spotify or Truecaller. Is it? I can pay them for customers. I don't need to launch my own. I could use others' app to advertise. Whether there's a possibility of doing that, that's another thing that you could consider. If you want to reach the mobile customer, then you can also see whether you are going for a free or paid apps or freemium apps. Sometimes there are certain features free, and for get additional premium features, you have to pay. So that kind of. Then which category of application to target? So your customers, who are your customers? How to promote, and particularly, although this is the mixed answers, I would say number one is Pahigo. After strategic priority, this strategic priority, I think, but he and you all told very important, the cost, the customer's need, etc. etc. Told you have to look into that, and then you have to decide whether you should go for what. Right? Just because there's an app that you could download, like don't try to do it, but that can launch it because you need just a cost, there's not going to be a return, right? The short term or the long. Right. Is that it? So again, this is a 5-star question, right? 5-star area that's spoken times, right? Frequently tested at exam. So 5 stars. Are you convinced? App versus web decision. So it's a very careful decision you have to. And I got very good answers. Thank you very much. So cost, user experience, integration, and another important point that you can add to your arsenal in the answer is that whether offline access is possible. The web, the offline access is not possible. In an app, it's possible. Apps could be used even offline in certain extent. Okay, that's another good thing in an app. User experience, App Store presents regulated and legal compliance. If you are going to launch an app, you have to think about this as well. Regulatory and legal compliance, because you are collecting customer data. Whether it's accepted, it's a problem sometimes. Right? So that's app versus web page, or web versus app page. So you already have a web, I'm going for an app model. Right? These are the criteria that you should consider. Is that clear? Right. Right now, the next topic, augmented reality. Augmented reality. Augmented reality. Augmented reality. Now tell me what's augmented reality. What's augmented reality again? With an example, I'll ask some students who did not already answer. What's augmented reality? Then I showed you what Tesco Home Plus did in South Korea, not in North Korea. In North Korea, Tesco Home Plus cannot go because Tesco is an American shop. Then I'll show you what they did. Tesco Home Plus. Tesco Home Plus. Okay, what's the augmented reality? Virtual reality, augmented reality. What's augmented reality? You are trying to give the customer the real world experience through what? Through the virtual world as like you use a camera as well as other devices to give the customer real experience. The best example is that virtual fit-outs. Like virtual fit-outs. It's not the real, but you can virtually get fit-out. You can put a dress on yourself and see whether it suits, etc. Now let's see how it can be done and how this is being done in South Korea. Not in North Korea, can you get this done? No. Now you will see in this example, Tesco is an American project. So they wanted to go to South Korea, not North Korea. Right. Americans don't want to go to North Korea unless they want to get this. From Israel. So this company thought of going to South Korea, but they had a big issue. What's the big issue? Now Tesco is the company who is fast-moving consumer. You can see it's a retail sector. So groceries and other things, they are main vegetables and etc. Groceries is their main thing, like our Peach supermarkets, they are in that sector, city sector. And now they wanted to go to South Korea. But what's the main issue? What's the critical factor for a supermarket to be successful? What's the critical success factor? The location. It has to be located in a place where customers could easily access. And when you see these supermarkets, what's the largest area that they have allocated for? Right? See, the largest area they have allocated, even when compare the supermarket space and the parking space is more than the supermarket space in certain areas. But because the location, parking facilities, the facilities are more important for the customer. They can have the spot on the road, and also it has to be accessible easily. Right? Now Tesco is going to go to South Korea. What's their main challenge? What's the main challenge? Already there are South Korean supermarkets who have got the prime locations. They have already got the prime location. Now Tesco is unable to get those locations. Can they get it? They can't. But Tesco wants to be number one, or at least number two. Can it be? See how they did it. They became number one in online retail sector, as well as they became number two, and almost now became number one in the physical sector as well, physical arena as well, physical space as well. How they did it? This is how it should be creatively. You can achieve, you can even compete with the major company. But there are Kmart and other kind of already established Korean supermarkets. They outperform all of them and they became the market leader. How? There's a story of Tesco Holdings. Now, Tesco is an American brand, it's an American supermarket chain, but in South Korea, they renamed themselves as Home Plus. For Tesco. Again, a strategic issue. But now let's see how they became number one. They converted the subway stations to supermarkets. What? They converted the subways. What are subways? In Srilanka, we don't have that concept. Subways are what? Trains, right? Subway trains are there. We have seen Japan is often using that because those are particularly underground train networks where we can easily travel from some place to other place using train, tube trains and other things over there. So they made the subway stations into what? supermarket. So they removed the trains and the engines and maybe the rail tracks and made it supermarkets. We see what they do. It's a very creative idea, and that made them number one in online market space as well as the physical market space physically. They became almost number two and almost number one. How they did it? It's in the short video you will see how they gained that competitive advantage. They use the concept called augmented trade for virtual trade. It's 22 minutes and 30 seconds video, but it tells a lot of things. Let's see what it says. Now, you can just read the, the subtitles. I'll tell what's going on. South Korea is a unique market because as a population who is working very hard, right? Well, working very hard. Home Plus is the largest brand in the E-Mart is already the competitor. So they want to be number one. And you can see South Koreans are working very hard. And number one is Japanese, they are staying. And number two, South Koreans, the Chinese. They are very busy, they are working hard. What's the idea? Let the store come to the people. How is that? How the supermarket can come to the people. Now these are subway stations. You can see that the train is going on. And what they post? They put real pictures of the real product, the real pictures, and how the customers are marketing, how the customers are doing their shopping to their phones. So the prototype of the photo of the item is there in the subway station, like in the railway station, in a mall, that items are there, QR codes there, and the customers order them. Immediately the order goes to the Tesco Home Plus, and what is the item is delivered. The item is delivered, then they will. So they do the shopping by the paper pen. And do that 3 years. Password on the computer, you can download it or share the book. But you can use the font and you can do this. So are those real items? No. Those are pictures of them. Augmented reality. We have the sales shut up. Those are pictures and you are done. Currently, Home Plus has become number one. Online market has been very close to number two. So that's how you can use virtual reality for this purpose. He's trying to sell me a website. Oh, thank you. Dinesh. Right. So that's what augmented reality means. It gives a virtual experience, a real world experience by creating a virtual space. So read, what does it say? This Tesco Home Plus, right? What it did. When real world digital data, you take your picture and you put that into maybe a website, maybe a virtual account or whatever other kind of thing, and captured by the digital camera in a webcam or mobile phone to create a browser-based picture reference. So that's called augmented reality. And if you want to drive a interview virtual, I will give you that as well. So likewise, this is augmented reality. And to do that, again, you need appropriate digital infrastructure. Number one, you need to have a very strong internet connection. If not, you cannot operationalize augmented reality. Right. We shall take a small break, no? After this, now it's 9:30. Please come at 9:45. After this, we shall discuss about the 5-layer model of digital research parts. What is 5-layer model? And then we can continue. And then probably we'll do a case study. By the way, how was the video? Impacting adoption of cloud computing in Sri Lanka must be getting in the take a much relevant thing. It was very good. Not only the other, so we feel okay. Okay. Other than what we took that. A part of its. And then, yeah, we are. Are they? External. External. AI is internally. You will see correct what is effective to the internal without anything. The banana, frankly, here in the habits. E-commerce AI is development. It's about five. How to what you not Cloud computing. So the posture of the cloud is thing. My opinion is that cloud cloud based. My opinion is say but the cloud based then एक ही तीन घंटा फैक्टर्स का नाम है एक क्लाउड सिस्टम में है इसके बाद एक चैलेंजेस बिगिन मार्केट है आणि इथे जरी सुद्धा या इन्क्लूडिंग एक का जॉब काम इनको सीरियस की बात करते हैं एक का मीटर बात सामने सुधा ये कर सकते हैं और क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग करते हैं फैक्टर्स लेक्चर सॉल्व करते हैं तो ये तो वाला actually वाला डिटेक्शन है right on this is it's something that you want to are going to have friends that talk here kawan ya betul 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 uli
Good morning. Some bảo xịt cho bạn. Ở đây bạn market. వాళ్ళ తర్వాత నడుస్తుంది. Okay, students, let's start now. Okay, welcome back. Please take your seats.
Right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, interactive activity. It's very easy. Wrong attendance sheet has come. Attendance sheet is okay. Right. So welcome back. We took a little bit of more time, no? I told 9:45 and I'll stay. We took 30 minutes for the break. That's fine. So even though I made it, I'll get myself to miss anything for the next. Okay, good point. Right. Now take down this topic. I'm going to discuss very important thing. Please take down the 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure. This is a very specific model that I'm going to explain to you. Please take down. Again, topic, the 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure. The 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure. 5 layers. The 5-layer model. The 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure. So, if you look at this model, there are 5 layers. That's why it's called a 5-layer model. Take a 5-layer model example. So there are 5 layers, and that's why it's called the 5-layer model. So what are the 5 layers? Now let's take one by one. Then after this, I'll use an example and I'll try to explain that again. So let's see what are the 5 layers. Let's see what. Layer 1. You can see it's called the applications layer. The application software. Like what are the application software that you know? Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those are application software. That's called the application layer. Then next one you can see the second layer is system software layer. What's the system software layer? The system software layer is the operating system. Right? Application software needs to be run on operating systems. Also, this includes browser as well. Because now we run certain applications through cloud browser. There is a good example which I tell you today. The third layer is the network layer. Now you can have software, but if you cannot transmit that from one computer to the server and to the other computer through the internet or whatever, then that's useless. So that's called the network layer. The third layer. What's the first layer? Application layer. Second layer, system software layer. Third one, network layer. Because the information has to be communicated from one computer to one device to another, isn't it? The fourth one is the storage layer. Storage is where you store the information. Hard disk or any other kind of mode of storage, saving the information. Then the final layer is the content itself, the information. We call it the information. Storage layer is the medium that the information is stored. Then information itself is what? The fifth layer. Right? Information itself, the data, we call it data or the information layer, is the fifth layer. Right? Now let me take an example. Let's say I am an employee in Hamad, let's say for an example, and my head office is in Colombo, and I need to apply for a leave. But I need to apply for a leave. So let's say now what I will do. First, I'll go to my computer, my workstation, and I'll open what? The ERP module. For what? The HR module, right? The HR module, there will be a section where I can apply for leave. So what software did I use? What layer did I use there? ERP system I use. The particular module in that ERP system I use. What's the layer that I use? The application layer. ERP is an application. Is it? It's only application. To apply for leave, I use that application. HR application. Something wrong with that? No. Not rocket science, is it? Now that application should run where? The application can become the computer. It has to run on a system software. The operating system in my computer is Windows 11. Right? Then what's that? That's what? That's the second layer. What's the second layer? The system software. The application runs on system software, Windows 11. Or sometimes the application might be the cloud. Can ERP system be in the cloud? Cloud, do you think about ERP system? Cannot. So that's, so also you have to understand applications could run also using the browser. Can you give an example? Browsing applications you will of course, yes. What's that? Google Sheets, have you ever used Google Sheets? Have you installed Google Sheets in your computer? No. You are running Google Sheets from the browser. Google Docs. A very good example, right? You are running that in browser. So in that case, browser can be taken as a system software. Right? Now if I am running Google Docs or Google Sheets in Microsoft Chrome could be considered as the second layer. What's that? System software layer. Now, where am I residing at the moment? Where I am working, where's my workstation? Is it in Colombo? No. I am staying Hamad. Now, from Hamad, that information needs to be transmitted into the head office. How is it going to go? Through the internet. There's no private networks. Let's say I'm transmitting that through the internet protocols. So that's all. The third layer, which is the networking. Information transmitted from one place to the other. It's transmitted through the network layer. So I use the HR application, that's the application layer. Then the HR application runs in a Windows 11 system, that's the system software. Then the information transmitted from Hamad to Colombo, that's what? The network layer. Then that information is stored in a server, a large computer at the head office. It's in a large hard drive. That information is saved. That's called the storage layer. Then the information by request itself is information, data. That's called the data layer. So these are the 5 layers. What are the 5 layers? Application layer, system software layer, which includes also browsers like Chrome or whatnot, Edge, and etc., Safari, etc. In Apple computers, you have Safari software, the browser. And then the third layer is what? The network layer. Information has to be network, right? Transmitter. Then the fourth one is what? Storage layer, where the information will be stored. Where? Storage medium. In hard drives, in floppy drives, those days, I think you have never seen floppy drives in your life, maybe. I use floppy drives. Long time back, which was totally unreliable. Totally unreliable. And the capacity was 3.5 MB. 3.5 MB, not GB. Those days I could remember my brother's computer had a capacity of 2.5 GB. But drive for this desktop. At that time, it was a very big amount. These days, my phone has 256 GB. Right? You might have 512 GB as the storage. So still I could remember. When I was like you, like a student like you, like an undergraduate like you, when I was at that time, I was very much interested in tech, and but at that time we did not have internet or whatever like this. So when I went home, what we did was I used my brother's computer, desktop computer. It was a 386 old machine, and I practiced. I practiced the software before it was taught at the university, and then I could still remember the lecturer. The particular lecturer was a history lecturer. He was teaching that piece of software. Now you are taking QuickBooks, right? QuickBooks or QB, or what's the software that runs? QuickBooks. At that time, there was something called that piece. And that was again installed in a software. I got it from a senior and I went to my home for the vacation before we started the new semester. And then I installed it and I practiced it. Then the semester starts, the lecturer came. He was a history lecturer and he was teaching not like me. He was not teaching to the students. He was teaching to what? The board. And he was audible only for the front seat people who were seated at one seat. I was seated at the middle of the they seated at the I was listening. I still I could remember. He was teaching only to the board, no one understood, and all were worried because there was an exam at the semester. But I practiced it beforehand because I was fascinated with software and a lot of things about IT, and I practiced it. So I knew what he was talking beforehand, like before he was teaching me. Then I was well conversant and I was even I did past papers and some questions related to where we had to create a company and do certain transactions, book certain transactions. I did perfect. But 99% of the class, my batch, there were 120, like I don't know how many students I do, but 120 people were there. 190 people, we don't know what that man was teaching. And they were worried. What did I do? I was very happy now when we failed and I passed. And my direct competitor was there. He also had no. What did I do? I kept it to myself, went for the exam, wrote, I got an A plus, all others failed. Is that what happened? No. I went to the head of the department. First of all, I got a request from my batchmates. What can you help us? Why not? Then we went to the head of the department and we requested the lab. At that time, usually students were not given the lab for any purpose. Because they are limited computers and the students come and take it. We took the responsibility. And I taught then the whole batch by myself. All were passed. Very few did not come for medical reasons to complete it, but all passed the exam and I very. I did not keep it for myself. I could have kept it for myself, but that day I decided no. Whatever we get, we should do it. So likewise, we have to understand now how this works. Now we are talking about cloud system. Now one student was asking about AIS as well as e-commerce, and now the thing is the transformation as like AI, disruptive technologies, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and particularly cloud computing has come into play. Now my question was, can an ERP run in cloud? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. ERPs run on cloud. So that's my problem. So have you installed the ERP in your own computer, in the desktop? No. It's running through the browser. If it is running through the browser, so in that case, what's the platform? The system software. The browser. Because it's running the browser. Now, if you are running, let's say, if you are using Google Sheets or Google Docs, have you installed that software in your computer? No. Where is that software? Software okay. In a Google server. You access that software through a browser. You access that software through browser. In that case, the browser becomes the system software layer. Right? Now, if I take the example, let's say this company uses. Okay. So the company uses a Google Sheet to record these leave requests. Right? Let's say this company is not sophisticated. A Google Sheet is being used to record leave requests. So the people would know that the leave request has started. In that case, now what's the application layer? What's the application software? I'm using Google Sheets. What's the application software? Google Sheets. What is Google Sheets? Is that application layer? Then I accessed Google Sheets of the head office through Chrome browser. Then what's the system software? Then it was communicated through the internet. There was a network layer. The internet. Then the information was stored there in a Google Drive. Then what's that? Google Drive is become the storage. The information that I transmitted, my information, my name, the dates I request about leave, what's that? That's the data information. So likewise, students understand these are 5 layers. At the exam, will be asked the 5 layers of digital business infrastructure. At the exam, will be asked using an example, explain what? The 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure. Now is it possible? Indeed. Use the same example I am teaching you. What? Requesting leave. Let an employee requesting leave from the enterprise. Is that clear? Right. So I have given the same example in the next sheet, which I'm not going to waste your time again. Okay, so these are examples that I taught you, right? So here what we have to understand is level 2 can have also the Microsoft Windows 11 as the operating system or even Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, that kind of browsers. Right. So that's the next thing I want to discuss with you today. Okay. Now let's try to understand the difference between www and the internet. Please write down. Differentiate between. Please write down. Differentiate between. Differentiate between www. What's www? World Wide Web. Those days, 20 years back in Sri Lanka, we called www what? Wait. Because the internet was so slow. Then you get www, World Wide Web. Differentiate between www, within brackets World Wide Web, and the internet. And the internet. And the internet. Differentiate between www and the internet. So tell me the difference. Use again ChatGPT and tell me simply what's the difference between World Wide Web and Eagle. I'm going to ask you in Eagle, and you can write down the answer as well, whatever it tells you, then I expect. But first of all, I will give you the chance to tell me what's www and then also to explain yourself. What do you www here? If you don't need that, yeah, technology. So, what's the difference between the internet and www? Okay, how people make it. I'll give this time a chance we did not speak. Like a market, something and then this is the continue. We will ask our students to give a response. Differentiate between www and the internet. These are potential questions at the exam. Extremely important questions at the exam. Potential. www and the internet. I think it's a lot. We have put on those. Tell us what's the difference between www between. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, good, very good. Other thing, what I can go. www. Good, very nice. Yeah. Yeah, www. Yes. Okay. So, good that can. Very good, very good. It's a turn up. Everyone in actually. Very nice, excellent. Okay, very good class. What's www and data? not tendering. The internet is the network, isn't it? The www is other businesses. Very good. Okay. Or maybe that can make hospitality difference. www is where they. Very nice. Maybe I think down at the bar and we go. I think everyone is until ready and everything. Okay, on the go. Getting on. I don't know. We get it. Some money, who are the average? Good. Give that enough. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Tell us about the difference. Difference is between www and good. I got some very good answers. So you can see web is it's actually the internet is the physical network that we are talking. The internet, as the name says, the internet, the network that connects the computers and other devices together. As a what is it? Okay. Then what's www? The resources there, web pages and other resources. The resources area. Right? So that's the difference between www and the internet. So these are connected. And these are connected. And the web pages and other things are there. So let's take an analogy. Right? Now, if you take a bookstore, let's say I'm taking a large bookstore. Let's take a large library. Large library, there are shelves, isn't it? There are books are contained. There are rooms, right? There are rooms, shelves, and there are books, magazines. Let me ask you a question. The shelves, the rooms of the library are similar to what? The internet or www? Okay, I get different answers. So it's the internet, the network. Is the first one, the network. Then the books is the content. It's even www, World Wide Web. It's the information that's true. The content is the www, the content. The content. The bookshelves and other things are where the books are stored. So that's the infrastructure which facilitates connectivity. That's the net. The one. So let's take another example. Analogies, right? These are analogies. Now, if you look at again, I think the road network, city and its roads, right? City and its roads, if you take the network, the road network, and the connectivity is indicated by the internet, the infrastructure, the city. Then different information is in what? The buildings, the vehicles itself can be taken as the WW information. So that's the analogy. Then what's an ISP? It's not ISP, it's ASP. No, it's ISP. What's ISP? ISP is an internet service provider. Now, if you want to get connected to the internet, can you just get connected to the internet? Yes, sir. We log into SAP Wi-Fi and we get connected. That's all. Can you just get connected to the internet? No. You need a service provider. Of course, SAP has got services from Mobitel, from SL. So in Sri Lanka, we have ISPs. What ISPs that are there in Sri Lanka? Mobitel, Dialog, Airtel, likewise, there are certain companies that provide internet connectivity. So we can register ourselves and we can get internet. So that's called an ISP, internet service provider. Without them, you cannot get access. We can get access because they have got access from SL. So then application server, which I'll get to later, is where applications could be accessed through the web. These are what I call the cloud service, the cloud software. And for an example, we can take down Google Sheets, Google Docs are application service. They provide access to applications through the web. Applications. So example, applications are example Google Docs, Google Sheets. Application service. So already I explained the difference between intranet and the extranet. What's the difference between? Then also I introduce another net as well. What's that? Internet, extranet, and what else? The intranet. Intranet. What's the difference? Internet is what? Network, a private network for the organization. Extranet, an extended private network. The internet is where all could access right to information. Example, website. So we discussed these things. Internet, extranet. Okay. Now tell me the difference between HTTP and HTML. Please take down the topic. HTTP and HTML. Now I'm giving you the network features, and after that I'll be teaching certain other things as well. What's HTTP and what's HTML? What's the now look at, again go to ChatGPT and ask it what HTTP and HTML are. Hypertext transfer protocol. Then HTML, hypertext markup language. What's the difference? These are important concepts when it comes to the exam and also understanding of the digital business infrastructure. HTTP and HTML. HTTP and HTML. HTTP and HTML. What's the difference? You are telling me exactly, not just tell HTML can hypertext markup language, HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. Not that, what's the meaning I am asking, huh? Then, how about ethical? Will are from people who did not speak. Like, I cannot. Almost all already be Karakan. Well, the HTML. What's HTML? Let's start with HTTP. Hypertext transfer protocol. That's it. Okay. Very good. So, as you very correctly called, HTTP is what? How computers speak with each other. Right? The system or the standard, the computers speak with each other. We are speaking with each other oral, right? Likewise, how computers speak with each other. The browser and the server. The client computer and the server computer of the company. How they communicate with each other is defined by the protocol called the standard code HTTP. Right? So that's HTTP. And there's HTTPS, it's a secure protocol. Right. Then now let's see what's the HTML. Now that's a standard how computers communicate with each other. HTTP converter, hypertext transfer protocol means the standard how computers communicate with each other. Like we use oral and we are discussing things with you. The English language protocol, I'm using that. And we discussed and we understand it. Because these are machines speaking with other machines. So there should be a protocol to do that. Cannot understand it. Right? Then what's HTML? Good. May the Lord get one. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Are we ready? Exactly. That's how information is stored. HTML, the language, the markup language. Now, English text is structured in a certain way on the page. Likewise, this is how we structure unstructured information. That's called HTML. Then there's structured content. If you want to put a table or an Excel content in a website, that's called XML. That's a little bit different from HTML. HTML is for storing pictures, storing content like text, pictures, etc. How information is stored in a web page. So that's what it says. I got very good answers. HTML is a standard. So hypertext markup language is used to define the text and layout of web pages. That's how information is stored. Then HTTP is the hypertext transfer protocol, where it's the standard which is used to communicate between two or more computers. Right? Then we have XML. Now XML is for structured data. HTML is for unstructured data. Like for example, if you are going to put a picture in the website, you will use what? HTML, hypertext markup language. But if you are going to put a table, structured data like financial statements, you will be using XML. Now something now comes up like XBRL as well. XBRL is what? Extensible business reporting language. In the future, even we'll ask the stock exchanges now. In New York Stock Exchange, Tokyo Stock Exchange, information is stored not just as PDF files, annual reports. They are stored as XBR in XBR form, extensible business reporting language, where the users could tailor the information is there. The user could use the software to get the reports that they want, exactly as they want. The information is stored in the web, and the user retrieves the information as he or she wants. Therefore, the information is there. So, for an example, if I want the information in IFRS, it will be in IFRS. If I want the information in, let's say, US GAAP, which is different from IFRS, then US GAAP related financial statements could be taken by news. That's the database, all the information is there and retrieved by XBR. So that those are things that are coming. Of course, these were there for last 10 years, but still in Sri Lanka, we are in things coming to XBR. Till we store, if you go to Colombo Stock Exchange, the information of certain companies, the old annual reports are in what format? On a format 80. Let's say I'm going to get JKH annual report. In which format is that? PDF format. Is it a user friendly format? No. It's not a user friendly. But if it is an XBRL, then I could retrieve the entire financial statements as I want. Maybe US GAAP format, in IFRS format, or even in Japanese GAAP format. So likewise, it's very versatile, and that's what we require. But still, our stock exchanges are not ready for it. So basically, what you have to understand is the difference between HTML and HTTP. HTTP is how computers speak with each other. HTML is how information is stored in web pages, unstructured data. So we got an understanding of that as well. Then ASPs, earlier I told you, application service provider. Then the best example is what? Google Sheets. Google is the application service provider. It provides Google Sheets, Google Docs, so we can use it from web browser. So actually the software is not in our computer, it's in Google what? Server. Google Sheet is running in Google server. We are accessing that particular software through our web browser. Those are called ASPs. Not ISPs. ISPs are Internet Service. ASPs are Application Service Provider. Example I can take down here under this slide. Google Sheets, Google Docs. Best examples. Microsoft also has that. Can you run Microsoft Word in a browser? Is it there? Microsoft Word browser in Google? Can you run? Can. Microsoft Excel? Of course it's. You don't need to install it. But not all features are there. The browser version is a bit having less features than the desktop version or 365-degree subscription version. But there's a reason for it. And you can use the same file in your desktop as well as your web server. So then it becomes an application service provider, Microsoft. But Google Sheets are much more popular. Right. Okay, now let's come into understanding a URL. This is English, right? At the ready now. So what's a URL? Please take down URL. URL, commonly known as a web address. You might be telling it's a web address. URL. What stands for URL? Uniform Resource Locator. The web address. URL. URL. Uniform Resource Locator. URL. What's the URL? Commonly known as what? Commonly known as what? Web address. This was the web address. URL and uniform resource locator. Now let's take this example. Now look at this web address, which starts from HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, Then there is a colon, 2 backslashes, video.google.co.uk. And then some information is there. That's called what? The URL. Now let's try to understand what are these. Now the part which says the HTTP, then they can only the build address HTTP. Right, you can see there's a part called HTTP. That's called the protocol. Right, that's called the protocol. Right, here I have written down. This is called the protocol. Then the host name, who is hosting this particular game? Right, who's hosting this website is the host name is video.google.co.uk. That's the host name who is providing that information. If it is sap.html, then it's sap. What's our website's address? Our website address is what something. Very soon, right? We'll get on. For last 2 years, I have demanded. I'm a board of management meeting in one that time. One that one like party among the Mundia was a big guy. But now, Mr. Manusha, he has taken a special, task with him, the digital study. And he told by this month or next month, we'll take a result. At least we see the photo type of them. So still we don't have it. Page. So a URL like a card. Bigger question. Right. Then that's the host name. Then there's a subdomain. The subdomain here is video. Because usually the main web provider is google.com or google.co.uk. Then here there's a subdomain called video. That's called the subdomain. Within the main domain is google.com or google.uk, co.uk. Here there is a subdomain called video. That's called the subdomain. So domain is, of course, google.co.uk. Then there's a TLD, right? TLD is what? It's called the TLD. TLD is what? Top level domain. Top level domain is .com. Here it's UK. Here it's UK. In Sri Lanka, we are using google.com. Then the top level domain is UK. And the second level domain is CO. CO. Likewise, you can see that's called the SLD, the second level domain. But if it is google.com, there is no second level domain. When I was accessing Google in Japan, it was google.co.jp. Google.co.jp. JP is what? The top level domain. Right, like .com. Then what's the sub level domain? CO. Okay. So that's the usual dissection of a URL. Again to tell, because you have to maybe at the exam you be given a URL and you'll be asked to define the components of that. In that case, HTTP is called what? HTTP was there. The web address is HTTP. What's it called? The protocol. That's called the protocol. Then, video again. Video. Video is what? Subdomain. Then what's the main domain? Google.co.uk. That's the main domain. Then the UK part is known as what? UK Lanka.com. It's called TLD, top level domain. Then there's a sub or secondary level domain as well, co.uk. So likewise, this is how you could dissect. I cannot show you an example for SAP because we don't have a web address. And of course, to get this kind of addresses, you have to register that. And so you have to pay every year an annual fee if you are going to get one for your name. And Sri Lanka, there are different kind of organizations that understand. Right. Then now let's see the top level domains. Usually there are there. You can see some websites are .com. What it represents? It represents what? Represents an international American company such as Curiosity.com. Google.com is another example. These are American or international companies. Then .org. I think sometimes you have seen .org. What stands for? What stands for non-profit organization. Good example is Greenpeace.org. Then we have Mobi. Those are mobile radio websites. Mobile radio websites. Mobi. The net is for network providers. V1.net. Then co.uk stands for what? A company that's based in UK. If it is a Sri Lankan company, then what's that? .lk. co.lk. Then we have au.ca.de. AU stands for? It's what company? Yes, okay. .a Australia. It's an Australian company. CA Canada likewise. Then look at here. .ac.uk. What does that stand? AC can what? You have to listen here. AC stands for academic institutions. AC.uk means it's a UK based academic institution. Probably an academic, maybe a university. AC.uk. If it's a university or an academic institution, then it is say AC.uk or AC.lk. Sri Lankan academic institution. Now, if you go to Java University, it's www.sjp.ac.lk. Right. AC.lk. Right. Then org.uk. Org.uk means a non-profit organization. Org stands for non-profit organizations. UK stands for it's a UK company. A UK entity. A non-profit UK. Right. Now tell me, by looking at this, what should be the website address of SAP? Somebody website address is coming soon. You know, the coming soon coming. Then coming soon. What will be the SAP address? Proposal. SAP.com. www.sap.com, is it correct? Wrong. www.sap.org. This is not profit. This is not charity, but not charity. So, what should be the address? www.sab.ac.lk. Why AC? I said, I'm not going to have to later. AC. So, what's that? AC stands for academic institution. AC. Why LK? This is not in America. This is Sri Lanka. So, therefore, equal LK. Not LK. So, the ideal web address should be www.sab.ac.lk. Do we have that address yet? No. It's now registered. And soon we'll get that. I was told that every time when I meet the board of management, the first question is that from me, where's the website? You know, duplication road, duplication road, duplication routing, even for those skeptical, you have what? Nice get that. But for self, we don't have. By those, therefore, we need a good one because it's a very esteemed organization under CA Sri Lanka. But we need to have different ideas. Yes, we are part of CA Sri Lanka, that's very good, but we have a separate webs. And we are co-branded, and that's our strength as well. We don't want to go from CA Sri Lanka. We should be a part of CA Sri Lanka perfectly. That's our development, right? From other entity, but we need to have our own website. our own identity, right? So that's what we are looking for. So this is the top level domains that are there. And I think that's enough for today. Next day, we are going to have about SaaS. We are discussing cloud computing SaaS, and they are doing case study discussion. So ask your all the participants to come next week because we are going to have a presentation. It will be asset. What the building of assessment okay, because particularly there are some people. So such as they might be. So next week we will ready. Any questions, concerns? No questions, right? Okay. With that, then we'll complete for today. Thank you very much. See you next week. And wish you all again a very happy and prosperous day. Please take care. Thank you very much.